Okay, so this is me 20 days ago. So I was wrong in my last video where I said or posed the question and pretty much positively alluding and implying that banks are a strong sell potentially right now. Well, I think I was wrong. They are insanely strong sell or don't buy at the moment, in my opinion only. So I wouldn't go there, even with somebody else's money. And this is the ABC few nights ago.
Last year, ANZ's boss Shane Elliott declared on this program the golden age of banking was over. And the bank's results today are testament to that. ANZ suffered a 7% drop in full-year profit, was dragged down in part by remediation costs from the Royal Commission. Full-year profit came in at around $5.6 billion after the bank put an extra $800 million aside this year for remediation costs. The total remediation bill since 2017 now stands at $1.6 billion. ANZ kept the final dividend at 80 cents a share but slashed the franking to just 70%. And I spoke with boss.
Okay, granted, one result, one day, 1 week, or even a 1 month bad month in share price of any company doesn't make it a trend. But let's have a look the ANZ Bank share price. This is 1 month, so it's down. And this is at the time when property market is in somewhat some sort of a recovery, really. You know, sometimes you just have to listen to the banks themselves.
And the evidence is pretty clear. Look at our margins that we reported today. The margins in our business were down. And so the difference between what we've paid for money and what we've lent it out at is less. And I think that is the ultimate going on in there. So volumes are down. So people are just, there's been a lot, people are borrowing less than they did before. Competition has meant that margins are down pretty significantly. So that's a good thing for consumers, but it makes it harder for the bank to be profitable.
Again, you just have to listen to the head of ANZ in this case, where margins are being squeezed. Fewer people are borrowing, or in any case, people are borrowing less, whatever that means. So, whilst the Australian housing is actually recovering, that's what the numbers tell us at the moment. So, what's going to happen when the housing turns back around and starts going down once again? I mean, if it's this bad for the banks at the moment, when the prices have stabilized, what's it going to be when they turn back around, as I am predicting they will? I find Shane Elliott, the CEO of ANZ Bank, pretty kind of honest and candid. So I like watching interviews with him because, again, he tends to tell like it is to a point, as much as he's allowed, being ahead of one of the four major banks in Australia.
Do you agree with the RBA that the economy has reached a gentle turning point?
I don't see the same effect in our business. I don't see the same effect in our business, it's a little bit harder for us to say that, to be perfectly honest. There's clearly been a gentle turning point in the housing market. There's no doubt about that. I mean, we had a bit of a downturn. Prices fell a little bit, and now it would seem they've set a new base and are starting to rise again. But when I look at our business portfolio, I think it's hard. From what I see, it's hard for me to say that there's a gentle turn in small business, certainly.
And the $64,000 question?
Do you think the pickup that we've seen in the property market will be sustained?
I believe so. I am cautious. Now, I'm cautious by nature, so that may be just me. It may be because we're, the business that we're in.
It was the banks which dragged the market lower, ANZ in particular, after its results. The shares down by 3.5%. We did see the dividend steady, the cash profit also steady, but the franking level fell down to 70%, and we also saw arrears jumping by about 16%.
Arrears jumping by 16%. That wasn't mentioned in that interview. Maybe it was something that was missed, but at least to ask Shane Elliott, arrears up by 16%. I think that means that people who are unable to meet the mortgage repayments have jumped by 16%. And I think it might be the people who haven't been able to do it for 90 days or longer. I think that's what that means. I could be wrong though.
But it was the banks which dragged the market lower, ANZ in particular, after its results. The shares down by 3.5%. We did see the dividend steady, the cash profit also steady, but the franking level fell down to 70%, and we also saw arrears jumping by about 16%. So